Hi Kyle. Hey, we got your request to compare the Victor DC450 to the Varidesk Pro Plus 36 standing desk workstations. So we have both products here. We're going to go over some of the differences and the high points. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at the Victor DC450. This model is electric. It has up and down buttons, and it works on a one-touch system. So if you push the button once and let it keep going, then you push it again when it gets to the height you'd like to stop at. So that's how this model moves up and down. The Varidesk has mechanical springs. You grab it on each side, pull up the levers, and then you can push it down so it's spring assisted, or you can pull it back up. And as you can see, it pushes forward when you go down, it comes back out when you go up. Let's start with what I think is the most important difference between the Varidesk and the Victor, and that is, how does the product sit on your desk and how does it move? So let's take a look here. This is a standard 24-inch deep desk that represents a typical cubicle. And you can see the Varidesk's frame barely fits, and in fact overlaps a little bit onto this space. What happens when you put it like this in a cubicle is it actually will hit the wall of the cubicle back here before it goes all the way down. Because of that, you have to adjust this and actually move it out a little bit, and I'll do that right here. And now it can go all the way down without hitting the wall back here. But what that's done is it's created an unstable situation in the front where the frame is sticking out over the front, and now because this desk comes out so far, it's actually very easy to tip the product, and that's not a very safe situation. The Victor DC450 has a very different design approach compared to the Varidesk. First of all, let's take a look at this steel base. As you can see, it doesn't take anywhere near all of the dimension of the desk, and imagine that in a cubicle. It also has this flexibility. You can move it forward if you'd like, move it back, turn it left and right. A lot of flexibility there. But the most important thing is, when you do raise it up or down, as you can see, it goes straight up and down against the wall, and there's no issues with it hitting the wall. In addition to the Easy Tap technology, which allows you to push the button once to move the desk up or down, and then hit it again when you get to where you want to be, there's actually obstacle detection built in to this model as well. And as you can see, when this hits the coffee cup, it's going to sense it and back up. That's great for safety reasons. Another very important consideration when considering a standing desk workstation is the keyboard tray height. As you can see, when I stand here, the best thing to do is have your arm perpendicular to your body, and the Varidesk is just a little bit too short for me at 14 inches. The Victor, on the other hand, goes all the way up to over 20.5 inches, which is much more than I need actually, and I think people up to 6'4", 6'5" can actually use this product with absolutely no problem. As you can see, the Victor DC450 has a somewhat rectangular desk, and that's important because when you're using your keyboard, if you rest your wrist right here like I do, then as you can see, the mouse is right here in parallel, right next to the keyboard. That's good ergonomically because you want to have a quick access, easy access to your mouse compared to where your hands are on the keyboard. If you look at the Varidesk over here, you can see that when you're using this keyboard like I was here, you have to actually bring your arm back for the mouse, and that can cause a little bit of an ergonomic problem of constantly having to bring your arm back. So that's something to keep in consideration. If you do like to have your keyboard up a little bit when you're working, this mouse position isn't really that comfortable. Another important subject is the placement of the monitor and how it's attached or not attached to your desk. With the Varidesk, it does not come with a standard monitor arm. That's an optional add-on purchase. If you just simply put your monitor on top like this, as you can see, it can be pretty shaky and not too secure. So monitor arms are a nice feature. The other good thing about monitor arms is they allow you to raise or lower the height based on what your needs are ergonomically. The Victor DC450 comes with two integrated monitor holders. As you can see, they're actually attached to this tower. And the good thing about this is they pan out, they rotate, they tilt, and each individual monitor can be adjusted based on this steel base. It can come in and out. As you can see, you loosen this, you can bring it out, bring it closer, and then the height's adjustable with a couple twists of the knob, and then you can raise it down for your height. Shorter people, taller people. As you can see, there's a lot of adjustability all the way down to here, all the way up to here. Over 12.5 inches of adjustability. One of the nice advantages of having a monitor arm to hold your monitors is it takes off the monitor holder down below the monitor and frees up that space on your desk. So that's integral to the DC design, DC450. And what I'd like to do is show you a common way people might use this, and that is to bring their phone up here on their desk, have a few writing utensils or tools here, maybe a pad of paper so they can go ahead and work on that, and then they have their keyboard area here. And as you see, that's a very comfortable area to work with. Everything's within easy reach, especially the writing when you're taking notes during a phone call. All right, let's go take a look at the Varidesk, see how that one works out. You have your keyboard down here, your mouse. There's really not enough room here to put your pad of paper, and maybe you can put it here, up here, and that's good. But as you see, there's really no more room left for your phone, and the space is somewhat limited. So what at first seems like a much larger workspace, because of the way it's designed with these cutouts, it actually is not as functional as the smaller workspace on the Victor. An important consideration of your standing desk workstation is whether you'll be in a corner or you'll be out here, maybe on the longer side of the desk. If you're in a corner, then the Victor has a big advantage over the Varidesk, and that is that the footprint of the base is much smaller, and the shape of the desk allows you to get closer to the walls in that corner desk. Let me just give you an example here. You can see I can move very close to here. I'm well within the whole desk. I'm not having any problems with interference here. The other thing is I can move the Victor very easily toward me or farther away, depending on how far back I want to be in the desk. Let's take a look at the Varidesk next. Okay, let's take a look at the Varidesk. We've pre-positioned it to be as far back into the corner on this desk as possible. And you can see if we went any further, if there was a wall here, it would hit it. And as you can see, it takes up quite a bit of the room. If we raise it up, it pulls forward 13 inches out into this main area, which for me, that's a little bit too far. So I would tend to want to push this back in. And the problem, as we've seen before, is if you do that, now when you go back down, you're going to overhang substantially. Another thing to think about is, on this side of my desk, this is 36 inches deep, unlike the other side where it's 24 inches. So if you had a 24-inch cubicle, which is pretty standard, then there really wouldn't be enough room to fit this in the corner. That would be a little bit of trouble. All right, Kyle, let's wrap it up. I'll try to summarize the main differences real quick for you. First of all, as we talked about, the fundamental design of the Victor with an electric motor, one-touch system. You touch it to move it, you touch it again to get it to stop at your desired height. The Varidesk has the springs inside, the mechanical approach, and when you pull the springs out, you pull out 13 inches away from the desk where you started. That can cause problems with how it fits in a cubicle, how it fits in the corner. As you can see, the Victor with its smaller footprint on the base, a lot easier to fit in a corner cubicle. Another difference is the workspace and how efficiently it's laid out. With the Victor, you can have a phone and a pad of paper, other utensils, all right there. With the Varidesk, without those monitor arms being up in the air, you get cluttered pretty quick, especially with this cutout design. The keyboard here is set up where the mouse is behind the keyboard. That can cause some ergonomic problems in your shoulder. The Victor, it's nice and straight in parallel, which works out very well. And then let's talk about this included dual monitor arm. Once again, holds two monitors. The monitors can go up and down at different heights. It's very easy to adjust the monitors, rotate them, tilt them, pan them, all the different things you'd like to have in a standing desk workstation. All right, that sums it up, Kyle. Good luck. I'll talk to you again.